For today's project, we're going to cold foil a card over a design like this. So what you'll need is a printout of your design that you printed on a laser printer because the foil sticks to the toner. So for this one, just this black writing is the toner, and I'll explain how I did that in a minute. You'll need some gold reactive foil. This Heidi Swapp MINC is the one I have. I'm sure there's other ones out there, but I don't have experience with any of them. So this is the one I'm using, and it's the one I can recommend because it's what I use. So they also make these accessories that go with it. So they make little cards you can foil over if you don't have a laser printer and you still want to play around with foiling. So they make these cards, and then they have all these different colors of foil. This machine, which is like a heat press laminator thing, and then that's what it would look like when it's done. But I don't have the laminator that goes with this brand. I have my own laminator, so that's what I use, and it works just fine. So if you already have one, then you can go ahead and use that. And I have my artwork here. I'm going to explain how I set all this up, so you can set yours up the same way if you want, or figure out what works for you. I create a lot of my art on my iPad. This is an iPad Pro 12.9-inch screen, 3rd generation. I create most of the art on there, so I made this on there too. The way I set up my design was I put my writing in its own layer so that when I was ready to print, I exported this image with just the writing as an image all by itself. It's on 8.5 by 11 canvas so that I could print it on a regular sheet of cardstock. And then I printed this part through my laser printer, and I happen to have a laser printer and an inkjet, so it worked out for me. So I printed this one on laser. It has to be on laser or the foil won't stick. It sticks to the toner. If you don't have a laser printer, then you might want to look for these type of products that you can foil over where it'll stick to it, and see if they make cards or something like that. And so this image was printed on the laser printer, and then the other one with the color, I exported that and I ran the same sheet of paper through my inkjet printer. So I had my color image as well. So I'm only going to foil over the writing, which is this part, and the foil won't stick anywhere else because it will only stick to this toner. I've already let my laminator heat up, so it's ready to go. So I'm just going to cut out a piece of foil that's the size of this writing here, and I'll show you how to run it through your laminator and how it sticks. So I want to measure it out so I don't waste any. So I'm just going to trace over this little area here with the tracing paper so I know what size to cut. And I don't want to cut it like too much bigger than what I need. It doesn't matter if my foil overlaps over the color because that is inkjet ink, so it won't stick to it. So I just need a little square about that size. This comes in a big roll, so you can just measure out what you need. So we need a piece about like that. So I have my little piece of foil. I'm just going to place it over top of the writing here. And then I'm going to put it inside this little folder. It's just a piece of regular printer paper. You can fold over so it holds your foil in place and also protects the foil from the laminator. And that's it. And then you just run it through. So I just like to make sure that it's stuck. I went ahead and I turned this up to the hotter setting, which is the 5 mil setting, so because that was not hot enough to make it stick. So it's already preheated, and I'm just going to run it through again, and hopefully this time it'll stick a little better. So hopefully that stuck a little better. You can kind of see when it has adhered to the toner, because you can see how it's stuck there. You can almost like read it through the foil. So it looks like that did work this time. So I'm going to go ahead and lift an edge just to make sure, and if not, we can always run it through one more time. So it's stuck, but there's still some black areas, so I'm going to put it through one more time to make sure it really gets stuck down there tight. I was having a lot of trouble getting this to stick through this little like folder thing, so I just ended up running it straight through with the gold leaf right over top, and then we'll see how that works. Maybe my toners are getting old or something, because it's always worked for me in the past with the piece of paper wrapped around, but it's not sticking today for some reason, so I thought, well, I'll try it this way and let's see what happens. That looks like it's stuck a lot better. So let's just peel up an edge and see if it stuck to the whole image there. Before it was real splotchy. Oh yeah, that's much better. So when you peel it up, it looks like so pretty. Check that out. So don't be afraid to try it different ways. If it's not working for you, then try something else and let me know what works for you. Sometimes you just have to try different workarounds to see what works for your machine or whatever. But I think this came out really nice, so I'm happy with that. If you make something using this technique, I'd love to see your project. So if you share it with me or you post it online, you can tag me at MyMcDoodles or hashtag MyMcDoodles. I'd love to see what you created. So I hope this was a lot of fun for you. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to like this tutorial. And if you want to see more fun tutorials like this, don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you next time.